Yeah, I want this rematch for sure with Babajit, which like One FC. One FC was martial combat earlier. Me and even my opponent, we took the fight at 10-day notice.
Welcome back everyone to the Locker Room India YouTube channel, and today with us we have Indian MMA fighter Abhijeet Petkar. So Abhijeet, you're coming off a huge win in Manipur. So how are you feeling currently?
It's great because it's my fight after a very long period of time. I got a rest of almost 1 year after my last fight. So I was pretty much excited for this fight. And pretty much I was aware of the results.
So आपने क्यों ब्रेक
Result
लिया?
about the
Like
fight.
इस लंबा ब्रेक आपने क्यों लिया?
ऐसा लंबा break, I mean, I have to take it because there was not many events happening around. So I was looking for a good opportunity to come back again.
So you've been part of the Indian MMA circuit for more than a decade now. So how did your MMA journey start, and when did it start?
I started my MMA journey with in 2007, 8. My coach was Daniel Isaac and Alan Fernandez when I started. But like as we move to the further stage, I was not much comfortable with the management and the training I used to get. Then I switched myself, and in 2014 I left India. I went to China, in search of better promotions, better fights. So I had couple of K1 fights over there. I had some MMA fights, but it's not a validate fights. I mean, in MMA circuit. So later on, I moved back to India. I opened my gym, and again I fought this SFL, and yeah, then again we got into this lockdown stuff. So basically, it was like back and forth journey all the time. So I was the one of the guy who started MMA in India. The core members, you can say, the core veteran of the sport.
So back in 2007, MMA was pretty non-existent in India. So what made you choose the sport at that time, at so early, when it was nobody was talking about MMA? Why did you take up the sport at that time?
See, I was very young, and this sport is very much exciting. I mean, this is a real fight. If you choose any other sport, you have certain rules. It's, I mean, you are very much, uh, how do I say, you are very much comfortable in fighting in overall situations. It even in all the scenarios, like you can fight on the ground, you can fight stand up. It's a it's pretty much exciting to watch as well. And yeah, that's how I started my MMA thing.
So before you joined MMA in 2017, 2007, did you have any background in any other martial arts, or was MMA your starting itself?
I no, I started playing karate. Later on I switched to kickboxing. I won state, I won national, and then as I said, my coach was Daniel and Alan Fernandez. So I moved. They got me some international amateur kickbox fights, and then later on in 2007 November, I fought for the world title of K1 in Tanzania, Africa. And later on, after that fight, I switched to MMA. And after that, I didn't had any K1 fights for more than 7 to 8 years almost. And then after going back to China, I fought some K1 fights.
So when you
Yeah.
started in 2007, do you remember some of your teammates that are currently there, and who were some of the teammates that trained with you at that time?
Uh, my teammates was like we used to train like not many people like Alan. There was one guy, Samson. You might be knowing Swapnil Barwe, Barwe, and Bharat was a newcomer at that time. He is my junior, and one more name is Sashi. You might be the Zain Khan. Yeah,
So
so we
why
were the team.
Awesome. So why has been your career like on and off? Like, is there any reason why you have been less active over the years, even after starting so early?
It's all my personal problems all the time. Like I used to jump up in some incidents. All the jumble happened in my life, really bad incidents. Yeah.
So now, are you planning to stay more active in the Indian MMA circuit? And what are your thoughts on how the sport has grown from 2007 to 2022 now?
Yeah, the sport has grown a lot in these days. I mean, I have heard like in Indian MMA, like next year they are going to start few of the very biggest events in India, as per my news. And even I have seen a lot of amateur fighters, they're getting ready in a very good level. They are training in a very good training environment. They're having very good training environment. The thing, like when I started, I didn't get the training. I mean, we used to do kushti. We didn't know the grappling thing. The submission, the grappling, we came to know after in 2010. There was a one coach called Pedro Shimol. I think he is the first Brazilian guy to visit India. At that time, we started our mixed martial art career in a better way. And I fought in martial combat in 2010, 9, 10, which like 1FC. 1FC was martial combat earlier. Even me, Alan, and one guy, Bhupesh. So three of us we fought at in the show. Earlier there was not many show, and in India, as you know, like the first show started was Super Fight League. I mean the major show, which was on TV promotion, major TV show you can say. SFL was the biggest show till now.
So, do you have any special memories from your fighting career so far? You've been fighting for so long time now. You fought abroad, you fought in India. What is some of the memories that you recall?
My the best and the worst memory is when there was a SFL camp. Everybody, we used to go for running, a long distance running. I just hate running. I hate running. So I used to carry some money in my pocket. So I used to go, like behind those guys, and I used to tell them, okay, you go, I'll join you at the gym. And I used to go run a little bit, and then I used to take a rick and come back to the gym. That was, I mean, there was like thing I used to do. I used to run. I used to run from this. I hate running, man. I just hate running. But later on, I have to do it. It's very important aspect of a fighter's training schedule.
So, you made a return to the Mafi platform recently last year. So, how did that fight come across, and how do you rate your performance there?
Basically, I it was almost a year. I was planning for my return. I I mean, I suppose there was a show. There is a show called SOW. I supposed to fight at the show, but due to some reasons, the promoter was delaying the show, and within like 10-day notice, I got this fight at Mafi. Me and even my opponent, we took the fight at 10-day notice, and I, I believe like my performance was very good. It was like 45 seconds knockout. So you can rate my performance. Even my last fight is like 1 minute 18 seconds.
Yeah, so coming to that fight, how did that opportunity of MMA, Sangai MMA come to you, and how did you like? What was your initial reaction when the fight against Hemant was offered?
Uh, I was very much open to any of the Indian guys to fight, even foreigners. But they offered me a fight against Hemant, and I know Hemant very well. He's kind of a friend to me. So I took the fight. Like, yeah, it was a very big show, and I had opportunity to fight there. So I was very much happy. Even the promoters and I mean the organization, they are very much friendly with the fighter, and the show was very much well organized. Even though that's the first show of MMA Sangai, it was very good experience. It's my first time I fought in Manipur. Yeah.
So, what does your future look like? Are you planning to be more active now, and which all weight classes are you planning to compete now?
No, I'll be competing in welterweight. I'll be competing in welterweight, and I'm looking forward as many fights as I can. I believe like I'm at my peak now. This is my peak. I'm at the best shape of my career right now, and uh, yeah, I can defeat anyone, anyone. I mean, any Indian fighter. I mean, I can openly say, yeah. If you want to fight me, it's better you should contact some of the organized. I'm very much open to fight anyone, anyone.
So, do you have any name in your mind when it comes to the welterweights in India? Like, do you have any one or two names that you would like to fight in the future, near future, maybe?
Uh, not many, because not many welterweights I have seen in India at that good level. But yeah, I want this rematch for sure with Babajit.
Uh, so, how do you think that will play out?
With Babajit. I'll finish this in first round.
Uh, so,
I won't take much time. See, my last performance with him it was like, frankly speaking, I was not well. SFL, I mean the organizers, they forced me to fight because I was not well. I had my wisdom tooth, and since like I just couldn't fight. I couldn't fight the way I fight. I mean, that was my shitty performance, I think. And till now, I don't think anyone is even near to beat me in Indian MMA. You have seen all my fights. It's just first round finish. None of my fights it's going to second round.
so before we close, would you like to
I
put out any? Yes, please continue.
I mean, I was always been how do you say, uh, yeah, even I say it's like, if any of the promotion or organization like MFN, or if there is any good opportunity, I'll definitely interested to grab and fight anyone of their fighters, and I welcome them, like with open hands. Yeah, if they can arrange me a fight, I'm open with that.
So, lastly, before we close, would you like to put out any message to the Indian MMA community regarding the sport, your future plans, anything that you want to put out?
This, I have seen many karate people doing MMA, teaching MMA boards. Don't get fooled because of, you have to pay peanuts over there. There is MMA. MMA training is different than what you train in traditional martial art. So find a better coach and see like what you're doing into I mean, see the coach if he is really into MMA. That's what I want to say.